Hello. All right, so hello everybody, excited to be here. My name is Victor Papashev. I'm the co-founder and COO of ParkBot. We're based out of Louisville, Kentucky, and we are a software and data company placed in the parking industry. So if we just jump right into it, so revenue is the key driver behind any parking operation, right, naturally. So really understanding the supply and demand behind those operations is important, especially if you look at it from a real estate perspective. I mean, the situation is pretty straightforward. You have an asset and you're trying to reach return on investment more quickly by maximizing revenue. So that's why parking operators have long had the goal of making sense of and optimizing the supply and demand to maximize this revenue. And as everyone here probably knows, mobility is rapidly changing these days with the introduction and seemingly inevitable takeover of things like micromobility, automated and connected vehicles, rideshare, and improved public transport. Mobility is going to look a lot different very quickly. So parking operators will need to adapt to remain relevant and support this wave of modernization. And on top of all that, parking is seriously overdeveloped. There's way more parking than there are cars on the road. And trimming down on this bloated infrastructure is a key priority of people looking to modernize cities. So parking operators are going to need to adopt lean management tools and practices in order to get more out of less facilities and infrastructure. So on top of these trends, old and new, that's where ParkBot comes in. So we're building an automated revenue management software service that harnesses the power of big data and AI to optimize parking facility yields. So in short, we build an algorithmic engine that optimizes pricing in order to get the most out of that infrastructure for operators, B2B. So there are some people doing somewhat similar things in this industry, but unlike them, we're going outside of the operation. There are a lot of factors that play into demand for parking that they're not looking at. So we're looking at things like traffic, events, as well as in-facility data such as occupancy and revenue and transactions. And all of that's going to play into the most accurate reflection of what demand looks like in parking. But we've been exploring this industry for a bit, and we understand it well and know that if you try to enter this typically slow to innovate space with something that's too intimidating or hard to adapt, you're going to fail. It's a recipe for disaster. So that's why we make sure our product is standardized, doesn't require regular customization, and meets all those needs that operators have, making it a very adoptable and scalable product. So a bit of a look at the opportunity on hand. So the smart parking as it stands as of 2017 is worth $5 billion, and thanks to the rapidly expanding smart city movement, smart parking is booming. So it's expected to reach a value of $11.5 billion by 2025, on top of revenues in parking already reaching upwards of $30 billion annually in the US alone. So there's a lot of opportunity to capitalize on here with optimizing that pricing for businesses and helping them optimize those operations in a modern way. So if we look at this matrix for some of the key competitors in the space, so if you look at people like SkiData and ParkHub, they're pretty popular management softwares for parking operators, but they're really antiquated and use basic data in the sense that, sure, they'll present the data in a graph or something, show them some key numbers, but they're not really helping with any of the decision making behind the business. They're pretty basic in that sense, and they're not really moving with the times. And then if you move over a little bit, Spot here with their very new IQ product as well as Smarking, they're on the right path, but the data they're looking at is very rudimentary. They're looking at your basic occupancy and maybe some in-app search data, like in Spot Hero's case, historical search data, but that's not enough to really fully understand the demand and really get the best understanding of that and optimize the pricing in the best fashion. So that's where we come in and we beat them out. So a bit of a look at the team. Nico Ferreira and I are the co-founders, and Nico Mitchell is our software developer. So we are all University of Louisville students, go Cards, and we are we're a team of young, motivated entrepreneurs who are looking to disrupt this very traditional industry and disrupt it. So to wrap up, we've seen this kind of model succeed in the airline and hotel industries. They're already using revenue management SaaS to optimize that pricing, and we're trying to make that entry into the parking space where it's much of the same type of model, but with its own nuances that need to be addressed, which is where the more complex data comes into play. So we're asking that we are selected as the 5 Across winners in order to use the cash funds to fund some additional customer discovery before fundraising and development. And then also just any connections or anyone who wants to talk, I'm here for it. So thank you.